Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another installment of Academic Insights, where we're actually looking at ARK Invest's big ideas of 2023. In this interview, we're actually going to be looking at the digital consumers idea, and today we have Ray Liu. Ray, thank you. Thank you for joining us, and can you let everybody know about yourself?
Cool, thanks, Justin. Hey, everyone. I'm Ray. I'm the co-founder of Bit.Country Metaverse Network. Metaverse Network is a layer 1 blockchain. You can launch your smart contract. And a Bit.Country is the first and a super app built on top of Metaverse Network. Bit.Country to Metaverse is like Shopify to e-commerce. We let users to launch a Metaverse with a rich set of features in 12 seconds. So the brands and the community and the business can focus on onboarding their users and operate the Metaverse, and then giving the digital ownership to the community. Our community background, our group background actually made of a few companies. We've been in education industry for over a decade. So we have education software running as a SaaS currently in 5 countries. We also have an education operator, which is how people to kickstart their career in Asia Pacific regions. We've been offering this for the last 10 years. So that's in a nutshell about our background. And currently my focus, of course, is the Bit.Country and the Metaverse Network.
Excellent. I appreciate that. So given that the big idea of digital consumers that ARK Invest was talking about, how consumers are moving over to online leisure, how they're moving over to the internet, and how we say moving over to the Web3 space, right? So given that the consumers are shifting their focus, how do you think that advertisers are going to one, educate themselves, and two, kind of transition into this new movement?
Sure. Thanks for the question, Justin. I think, we've been, internet is not new. Since the internet, we browse the internet looking for more like information-based content. So we learn, we get entertained, we have some fun there. But, internet Web 2 doesn't really offer any ownership. That's where Web 3 comes in, I believe in the future, the new internet, which is Web 3 plus, is not only delivering information, but also giving verified user ownership. And at the same time, I believe organizations will want to establish their Web 3 brand identity and use a new media to engage and convert users. So in the context of digital marketing, I believe people, as advertiser on Facebook, YouTube, it's pretty much like a pushing relevant contents and ads according to users' interests. But the conversion rate, as a client of advertising, I understand the conversion rate is still very low. I think the future advertising should be, giving incentives for people to spend time with your brand, and that's where the metaverse comes in. I see that metaverse is the new social platform because not only brands has the new brand identity in a more immersive context, but also at the same time, their brand's user community can have their own world and home to interact, such as your identity turn into avatar, your activity not just seeking for information, but also looking for opportunities through games, through protocols or campaigns to taking ownership inside a community. So in this model, and there'll be a lot of opportunity for brands to have a further engagement with the audience, such as reward. All right. However, the challenge of reward is about who you give to and how you distribute it. And then that opens a topic around the game theory, and then brands want to only give the right user, the true member, true user, so bound avatars in this context with the right reward, and also verify their efforts. And I believe, with ownership of a brand, it's not just you appreciate their services, but also you are part of them, have the kind of benefit of the growth. So that's it in a nutshell.
All right, excellent. And I really just thought about something as you explain that, where I hadn't really thought about this before, where, given that you're going to have this, the organizations are going to have this brand identity, the consumer is going to have this brand identity, right?
Mhm.
The consumers are going to have the ownership, right, of those avatars, for example, right? So as compared to our traditional Web 2 world, where we have partnerships from company to company, right?
Mhm.
Now, do you foresee within this Web3 space, within this digital consumer movement, do you see like a B2C type partnership where big brands are going to develop partnerships with users who are creating their own NFTs, right? Or they can actually put their own brand logo on the people's NFTs within, their metaverse, for example?
Yes, it's possible. The fundamental of advertisement is about, firstly, brand awareness, right? Second thing is about conversion. NFT can actually function in both ways. For brand identity, in the future, the avatar potentially can, print their brand they represent on their wearables, so that when they, either social in the 3D environment or 2D environment, they show their brands, and there could be some incentive around that. Like people are playing game together with a massive, online users. Everybody can, the brand gets exposure. Second thing, because NFT is an asset, is a verifiable, truly owned by user. There could be a business model around like affiliate program through NFT ownership, and then perform the conversion, through the awareness. Here we're actually working with a company that creating cosmetic products. What they want to do, they want to use NFTs to reward their ambassador, and those verified ambassador can, wear those NFTs on their avatar jacket or on their hat, which shows the ambassador. At the same time, people who buy their products through the ambassadors, NFT, NFT can convert it into a QR code, and both party get a discount. I mean, the buyer will get discount, the ambassador will have a cut from the sale. I think that's really powerful, and they already proven this model in the Web2 space, in the traditional economy. But with Web3, this only gets bigger, right? There's more thing you can do. You can play game together. You can chat with each other with more interesting identity, like using your avatar. So that's that's on my mind when you ask this question. So yeah.
Okay. So can you go a little bit more into because you made a statement in terms of gaming, and can you go in a little bit more detail into that, and where do you see the future of gaming?
Sure, absolutely. At Bit.Country, we creating the SDK API allow user developer to create their own games. We got a lot of inspiration from Roblox, right? However, the game that created on Bit.Country are very Web3 native. That means, through the qualification of the entrance of the game to the reward, that can be all ownership, centric. For instance, this particular game in this region, people need to have certain NFT collections so that community can play this game with a similar kind of appreciation to certain NFT collections, right? And then through the game, the reward potentially can be digital ownership rather than just ranking or some credits. I think that will fundamentally change the landscape of gaming. What's more important is that, back to the context of your question around advertisement. So I believe, and then we start seeing this demand that people want to sponsor game items, and those people are brands and the communities. For example, the first game on Bit.Country is monolithic game, which is you have in a random area in Chaos Land, you find this giant monolithic blocks, and people who join the game together, 50 players, they need to constantly finding the right tools to destroy the blocks to find the treasure inside, right? Along the way, those game assets, items such as, the axe, the grenades, those can be sponsored by brands. The collected item, this brand is sponsored by Cytec, and they show the appreciation. You got a brand identity there, and also the rewards. It's a reward block, potentially can be sponsored by you as well. And then suddenly you got that reward contains this amount of tokens or digital assets. And then at the bottom, this reward is sponsored by Cytec. So people are actively looking for reward, they are actively looking for your brands, whereas now is being passively forced to read the information, and it's totally different, right? This game can have variations, like I'm not sure you play geocaching. People hide the treasures, in different parts of the world. You can find them. This also can happen, a very classic example in the metaverse. You'll go to a different part of the location inside your metaverse, perform some activities, and you unlock something. And then, brands can actually become the geocachers. They can plan the rewards in different people's digital lands, and then allow everyone to go there to find a hint, to find those treasures. And those treasures potentially can sponsor by, by your brands. And they, at the same time, they receive that and they feel the appreciation. At the same time, they see your brands. And the next step, conversion, that possibly can be, through what I said, NFT transactions. Yeah.
All right, excellent. And I would say the last question I would have is, in the report, there was a reference in stating that AI is going to increase the time spent, within these virtual worlds, within this Web3 space. One, do you think that is a true and accurate statement? And then two, how is that going to happen? Like, how do you think we're going to leverage AI to increase the engagement of consumers?
Yeah, I think in general, AI, I think you refer to GPT 3.5 or 4, is a really cool productive tool for people, right? At this stage, in the future, they may replace us. We don't talk about that for now. I think the answer is yes, right? Within a couple of months, there are millions of users start using GPT chat to, try it out, and to, creating emails, tweets, or, getting some ideas for, promo advertisements. I think the role in the future for AI on the web or Web3 or metaverse could be, from our angle, we're already doing R&D with the ChatGPT 3.5, integrating that with the avatar. So that will potentially bring the customer service and also user interaction to a new level. For instance, Justin, you got your own avatar. I have my avatar. However, we are busy people, right? But some people want to talk to you while you're not available, and potentially can get some educational information from you. Whereas we will allow you to train your own custom bot, or create your custom model or context, which are back to GPT. While they can have a level of conversation with you, at the same time, they have the access to your knowledge base through a natural language processing model, right? So that I potentially spend more time with you because you are so responsive, you are so knowledgeable while you are sleeping, right? So you turn your sleeping hour into your productivity time, and that's my view, and that's actually something we are working on. Secondly, with the multiple vendors now getting into the AI, they will make those game players much smarter, right? they can learn more behavior and can be more responsive like a human, even though just without the special human people's knowledge, the avatar can be much more intelligent. So that means in the old days, the NPCs, just walk around and doing things can be much smarter and to become a companion in the game with a real human avatar. So potentially, people will spend more time because it's a real, right? It's a surreal, and then there's a much more interaction will taking place there. Yeah, that's my view, really. The whole AI thing will definitely, converting more people to be digital, and potentially that will create a lot of new jobs, especially in the metaverse, new opportunities, new level of interactions that I can foresee right now. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, and for the viewers that's watched previous interviews, they're used to this now. But I said it was my last question, but I lied because you brought up a good point where it's going to so this technology is going to create new jobs. In that we've been seeing on YouTube where some people are saying Chat GPT-4 is going to take away jobs. So what type of new roles do you think that AI is going to provide to consumers and individuals?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I think in the future, what we as humans are good at is that we have emotion, we have love, we know how to care people. That's something that cannot be replaced by machines, within years, right? Because there's a whole human interaction is very important. So for those repetitive jobs and things that involve vast knowledge that potentially can be done by AI through automation. Use the example that I just mentioned. Dr. Golston is so knowledgeable, and then his knowledge is not on the internet, so GPT-4 can't really learn it. But Justin Golston input all the knowledge in his own custom large language model that no one else has ownership, and then your digital brain potentially is your asset, and then you potentially become a expert and a consultant backed by AI, while you can continue to improve and learn, update the AI, and the AI can serve more people 24/7 at a fraction of cost. All right, I think that's something that the personal knowledge clone, I think, will be creating a lot of opportunities. And I was thinking the other day, would that creating more issues that people wouldn't want to share anymore? Because once you share on the internet, all the AI gonna learn it and they become more powerful than you. So that's something very interesting that see how this whole thing lay out. Some other productivity solution that AI can provide, we already see that they can help you with great ideas, creating software or the things. That's no brainer. I don't want to mention that people already check out GPT. There's a new area that I also think about, what the AI can create is the the connections between user and the system. Currently it's still us, like the traditional interface, right? Like buttons and things like that. But I think AI can create a seamless experience with the simplest UI, allow user to do more and interact more with the system, right? Because AI is contextual, they can learn your behavior, they understand the sentiments, they know what you talk about, and potentially can suggest things that fits your needs and desire very quickly and very accurately. So the graphical user interface will keep evolving, and more likely through a more natural language interface, right? That means without the buttons and stuff, people may want to see more from the interface, and then can well be presented through the digital avatar. So maybe your system in the future is a digital avatar with AI, and then with people understand, interact more with the system with the least of frictions. You don't need to go different pages to look for information. Potentially, that creates a lot of new opportunities that I can't really tell exactly what it is, but I just feel that's probably the future.
Excellent. That was thought provoking on that one for sure. So Ray, thank you for taking the time to speak with me on this topic. Where can everybody find you and find more information on Bit.Country?
Yeah, check out Bit.Country, Bit.Country, or ask GPT. I think GPT indexed us as well, right? We'll present our own GPT called Vega. So in the future, when we put on the web, you can ask anything about what we do and how things work, or user manuals. Potentially, the Vega GPT can airdrop you some reward along the way. Who knows, right? Follow our Twitter. If you Google Bit.Country or Metaverse Network, you will find all the details. So just in summary, we're building layer 1 blockchain connect to Polkadot ecosystem, which is called a Metaverse.network. You can't forget that name. It's our blockchain. Bit.Country is our super app, which is like Shopify to e-commerce, Bit.Country to Metaverse. We are launching the very first Metaverse called Kiosk Land. Already got 10,000 land owners, and we also sold to more than 20 enterprises about their white label Metaverse. And people want us because they want to create a brand identity, grow the community, give the community a home, let the community take ownership, and conducting more interactions such as conference, meeting, both 2D and 3D environment. And of course, for each Metaverse, also ship the features like a map, land economy, marketplaces, governance, NFT facility, your avatar engine with your own branded wearables from all the top to shoes. So yeah, if you want to check it out, follow our Twitter or contact us at hi@bit.country or hi@metaverse.network. Thank you.
Yep. Until next time, everyone. Thanks again.
Thank you.